Good morning. Welcome to the One Love live stream. We are so glad you are here. We are radically inclusive and we have replaced the word tolerance with respect and teaching others to do so. So enjoy the message. One Love.
Good morning. Welcome on in. Yeah. It's another wonderful Sunday here at One Love Spirit Center. I like this old song. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that once had me blind. So it's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. So it's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Yes, it is. Yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. All the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Yes, it is. Oh, look around you, there's nothing but blue skies. Oh, yeah. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. Nothing but blue skies straight ahead, y'all. Listen to me now. Oh yeah, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone, and I can see all the obstacles in my way. Is that a rainbow I've been praying for? It's just gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Yeah, it's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, yeah, bright, sunshiny yes, it is a sunshiny day, y'all. Put your faith and trust in that. It's time for us to stop flying with buzzards, start flying like an eagle. Come on. Slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. I said time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. Yes, it does. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the Spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. Oh, oh, to the revolution. Feed enough to eat. Shoe the children with no shoes on their feet. House the people, they shouldn't be living in the streets. Oh, we can be the solution. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. Oh, let's stop the evolution. Come on now.
Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping
Oh,
into
yeah.
the future.
Time keeps on slipping, y'all. It keeps on slipping.
Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping
My.
into the future.
Oh, time keeps on slipping. Time keeps on slipping
Slipping, slipping,
into the future.
future.
Oh, yes, it does. If time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. Ah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So don't let that time get away from you. No, 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 no. Yeah, I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. Oh, we're gonna stop the evolution. Sing it with me. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. Oh, help me start the evolution. Yeah. Time keeps on slipping.
Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future.
Don't let it get away from you. Use your time. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. Yeah. Woo! Good morning. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. I want to fly like an eagle. Let the spirit carry me. That second verse, feed the babies who don't have enough to eat. Shoe the children with no shoes on their feet. House the people living in the street. You can, we can be the solution. Welcome into this place. If you are with us for the very first time today, we want you to know that you are welcome here. And when I say you are welcome here, you're not welcome here for us to change you or to make you fit in. You belong, already belong. You're born into this planet, therefore you belong, and you belong with us. And we're so thankful for you to be here with us. Those of you who are regulars, if you would share this to your page, just hit that share button. It says to you, when you hit the share button, it says write a post. All you have to do is say, if you want to say something there. If not, you can just share it without writing a post. But if you want to write a post, you can just say, hey, join our community today. And then when you do that, you just click share. Boom. It's on your page. People are able to see it, able to gravitate toward it. If this is a message that has helped to liberate you, this is a place where you feel safe to expand and to be your essential, authentic, and expanded self, share that with somebody else. It could be very important to them too. You just never know who might come across it on your timeline and be blessed by it. One of the people that blesses our community on a regular basis is Ryan Oyer. Ryan is actually going to be our special guest musician during our first in-person service that I'll tell you about a little later during our announcement time. Ryan is going to be sharing his music with us then in person. It'll be fun. It's going to be laid back, a great celebration. But this is a video that Ryan decided to do a full music video on, and it's called Boxes. And when he sent it to me, the message of the song, the video is really great too, but the message of the song It was perfect with what we've been talking about for the month of April with manifestation. So I want you to enjoy this music video by Ryan, and make sure you support Ryan. Ryan is supporting us with his gifts and talents. Let's make sure we support him. This is going to be a single that he's putting out. And this video needs to be seen. It really needs to be seen by a lot of people. The message in it is so profound. We've had a chance during this pandemic to reset, and we need to reset the way we do life, period. I believe that it is up to us to save this planet and this plane, and to do that through conscious awareness and getting out of the boxes that somebody tried to put us in. Ryan said that this song is inspired by this community and the message of this community. Ryan, you inspire us, bro, with your gift and your talent. But we're glad that we can inspire you as well. Here's Ryan's song, Boxes.
Into boxes, they go to work and they check off their boxes. They come home to their nice and warm boxes. They place the children in their own little boxes. Kids go to school and make friends with their boxes. They sit them down and they learn at their boxes. Tell what they can and can't put in their boxes, so they can fit within their own little boxes. They buy and keep their possessions in boxes. They ship their boxes across the country in boxes. They fall asleep in their safe and sound boxes. They put their love and their dreams into boxes. They know that nothing that's alive should grow in boxes. It won't be long, they'll wonder where it went when it's gone. Till they unbox. Take-to-go boxes. They keep their memories in their photo boxes. They watch each other on their TV boxes. Talk to each other with their streaming boxes. They hide their dirt in their secrets in boxes. They put their own limitations in boxes. They count their days down on their boxes. Bury each other in the ground in their boxes. Do you think they know that nothing that's alive should grow in boxes? It won't be long, and they'll wonder where it went when it's gone.
boxes. And for years, religion has thought it could box us up, package us just right, so that at some point we could ship off to heaven or to hell if you're not living right. I wonder how much the stamps are for that box. What's the postage on going to hell? Boxes. The reason I loved this song is because it gives us a visual. Oh my God, how much do we do in confined and limited thinking? So that we can fit just right into the boxes. If we think in terms of limitation, we're always boxing in our ability, and this affects and really infects. It injects a disease into our life with what we can and cannot manifest. Somebody set a program for you and for me when we were young, and I'm sure that they did the best they could. But sometimes things were caught more than taught, kind of like a cold or COVID. The disease, I think more is caught in our childhood than taught anyway. We see the way our parents interact with each other. We see the way our siblings interact with each other. We see the way kids at school interact with each other, the way people interact on TV, social media. We see those interactions and we record them. The unconscious mind is a recorder. That's what it does. It records from about the last week or the last trimester in pregnancy until around 7 or 8 years old. The formulation, the recording, the programming is being wired into the brain, the unconscious, that teaches you everything from walking and talking to any kind of movement, running, bicycle riding, reading, writing, math, setting the stage for your future. The unconscious is trying to help you be successful in this particular society you're in. One of the reasons that people operate differently in different countries is simply because the programming is different from where they are. We call it cultural differences. I'm saying that it's mind frame differences, and how we frame the mind is what shows in the picture. Our perceptions become our realities. And so then when we try to make a shift with the consciousness, the unconscious is not in alignment with it. And so it will just kind of sit by and let you do your 5% conscious. Oh, that was a great workshop you went to. Oh, you went and you enjoyed yoga that first time. That's fine. That's fine. That won't really make any changes. Listen, yoga changes you as you do it more often, as you practice it, right? Same thing with playing baseball. You build a habit through what? Through practice. We have built our habitation in life through practices, things that we do repeatedly. And some of the things we do repeatedly in a pattern, we don't even know why we do it. It's automatic. And anything that's automatic is coming from the unconscious mind. 95% of what we do in any given day, I know I've said this before, but I want to remind us of why we're talking about manifestation this month. Why we're talking about renewing the mind and transforming your life. Renew your mind and transform your life. If you renew the mind, you will actually change the formula, which will change your form. And as you change your form, you begin to present to the world something altogether different, and you begin to attract to yourself what you really believe. What you're believing about your life is what is affecting your life. And when you set those beliefs into a practice, then you cause the unconscious mind to capture the programming you want, and it starts working on that. Even while you're asleep, it starts to build the building blocks for how your next day is going to go. So if you've been, Paul said it in the New Testament, St. Paul. He said, I find within me a war. My own members are at enmity with each other. He was struggling himself. He had been raised in a very rigid, law-driven, religious environment in the house of Gamaliel, who was a great rabbi of the Jewish people. He had been raised and it had been hammered into him, this is the way you do it. He actually met the Christ on the road to Damascus to jail Christians because they were preaching Jesus. He was, according to the narrative, he was knocked off of his horse, and what happened to him? it says that a great light shone upon him and blinded him. He had to lose eyesight to gain insight. In other words, he had to deprogram so that he could reprogram. And guess what? The guy who was jailing and killing Christians because he considered them to be evil and against his God is the man who's to blame for 2/3 of the New Testament. Preaching Jesus. More than preaching Jesus, preaching Christ. In fact, I love this quote from St. Paul of the Christian New Testament. No, dear brothers and sisters, I have not achieved it that I've spoken to you about, but I focus on this one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. I press to reach the end of this race and to receive the heavenly prize for which God, through Christ, is calling us all. I'll quote it from the King James. I press toward the mark of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. This is the calling. We have been called to come up higher. To higher what? To go up to heaven? No, a higher level of consciousness. Paul wasn't talking about going to heaven here. Paul spent very little time talking about heaven. He spent so little time talking about heaven that we have to wrongly connect the scriptures so that we can create a heaven doctrine. Paul didn't talk about heaven. He talked about Christ here on earth. He talked about crucifying the flesh daily. What he meant by crucifying the flesh daily was he said, I've got to put to rest my old unconscious way of thinking in order to create a new level of consciousness. I know I'm preaching to somebody right now. I'm saying that we have been trapped for long enough in our old way of thinking. We thought the Bible was meant to be a roadmap or an owner's manual when it was meant to be inspiration for us to find our own journey to God. Same thing with the Quran, same thing with the Upanishads, same thing with the Vedic traditions and the Vedic writings and the sutras. These were all given to us to inspire us to become the best version of us. They weren't meant to box you in. Come on, somebody say, I'm getting rid of my box. Go ahead and type it in the comments. I'm getting rid of my box. Here's what's awesome about it. When you get rid of the box, you'll actually turn around a few steps away. You'll look back and you'll realize there wasn't a box to start with. The box is an illusion. The box is a mindset. The box is keeping you from moving to a new mindset because the ego has gotten happy with where you've been. But we're setting that aside because we want to manifest a new world and a new life for us. This is why we're bringing our concentration toward integration of unconscious and conscious mind, and then bringing unification, congruence between brain, heart, and body. So that what we're thinking, we're emoting, and what we're thinking and emoting, we begin to feel. And when you feel it, you start to bring your wishes into reality. To be able to sit with a feeling gives you the power that you already have within you to create. I don't know how many of you, we had so many technical difficulties this last week. I just had to laugh about it because otherwise you just stress. You know, you either laugh or cry about it, and maybe I did some of both, but I was trying to figure it all out. But if you didn't see our talk with Pastor D.E. Paul, I invite you to go watch that. There's one thing one section of thing that he said that I think reaches into my soul today, and I'll repeat what he said. He said, God, in the beginning, in the Genesis narrative, God said, God saw, God surveyed, and then God shifted. In other words, changed his mind about it. Her mind. Changed their mind about it. God said, saw, surveyed, and then shifted. If the creator of everything that we see could say, see, survey, and shift, why don't we? We're created of the same stuff. You are actually God's stuff. Say that right now. Pat yourself on the chest. I'm made of God's stuff. Divine presence. I don't have to go to an altar to get it. The only thing I need to alter is my perception. Paul even said, be freed in the spirit of your mind. He didn't say, be free in reality. In reality, you already are. But if you don't know it, you don't know how to live it. And if you don't know how to live it, then you don't know how to present it to the world. You are free already. What about my sins? What about your sins? You know, even if we're going to lean into the Christian scriptures, according to the scriptures, it says that Jesus died once for all time. It says that every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that He is Lord to the glory of God. All means all. So even if we've got to go to Scripture, if you've got to go to Christian theological Scripture, then according to the theology of the Bible and according to the first 5 seminaries or theological schools that were around during the time right after Timothy passed away, who was a protege, I guess, of the Apostle Paul. Those schools, out of the 5, 4 of them taught ultimate reconciliation, which means everybody's going to be saved in the end. And only 1 of them taught annihilation, which meant that if you died without Jesus, that you would just snuff out and cease to exist. None of them taught eternal hell. That was a creation of Dante's Inferno along with the Catholic Church to try to figure out how to manipulate you. And it worked, because it's been on sale for a long time and people have paid a high price to keep from going to hell. Do not pass go, do not collect $200 if you don't accept Jesus and say the right words. So even if we've got to go there, know that all of that's been squared away. The question is, what do you believe? Why do you believe it? And how does what you believe add to or take away from the quality of your life? Because what you're believing, you're actually writing on the cells of your biology, and you're creating that in your world. This is not about blame. It's not about self-judgment. It's about awakening to the reality that I can take my power back. My body doesn't have to be in control. I can be in control, or I can manage. I don't really care for the word control. The word control comes along with a sense of bondage or slavery. I like the word manage, because there's some things that have been out of my control, but I could manage them. You have the opportunity now. The power's been given to you. Don't be conformed. Here it is. This is the verse we've been using, really. And some people say, why are you using the Bible? Because I actually love the Bible. Now, I don't believe that I know this is controversial for some. Take a deep breath. I don't believe that the Bible is the Word of God. What I do believe is that the Bible is filled with words of human beings about what they believed was God, and I believe that the Bible is God or divinely inspired. And because of the inspiration and the power that's in it and the energy that's in it, I draw from it inspiration myself. Is that heavy? Is that too heavy for everybody? Can we get past it? Are you going to be able to hear me now? So 66 books or 73 books, depending on whether you're Catholic or Protestant, and a bunch of those books were missing. The inspiration is all there, but it's not dictated by God. It was written by human beings. And those human beings were not in trances, even if they were entranced by the inspiration they were experiencing. They wrote about their lives. It's filled with poems. It's filled with myths. It's filled with stories, plenty of drama. It has violence and sex and cussing and fussing and folks messing around. It's got all that in it. So the Bible is full of all of that, because it is a record of what human beings were experiencing and the evolution of humanity, and it's a wonderful way to be inspired. I love how Paul wrote this here. He said, don't be conformed to this age. He was figuring it out. He said, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so you can do the acceptable and the perfect will of God. My personal translation, this is what I call the GATJ. It's the Gospel according to John. So Romans chapter 12, verse 2, my translation. Based on reading the Greek from this, I translated it this way. Don't be conformed to this age, but be transformed by the renewing of your innermost mind, the unconscious mind, so that you can act on what is the best life for you. In doing so, you perform the perfect will of Source. This is what God wants for you. God wants me to prosper. Divine wants me to prosper. Source wants me to prosper. Source is always inviting us into the same force and energy that created the planet. If God could say, see, survey, and shift, which means to change its mind about what was happening, why don't we say, see, survey to see if we like it, and if we don't, shift? Shift happens because shift is supposed to happen. Shift, change. If I don't like the life I'm living, I must make a change. And the change is not just through thinking, it's through actual practice. This is why we're using the meditation, and I'll let you in on this. During the meditation, we're using some elements of hypnosis. I'll admit it to you, that I'm working toward hypnotizing my unconscious mind to start working with my conscious mind so we can be in unity instead of at enmity. That's why we're doing the practice. That's why we do the breathing exercise the same way every single day. Because I'm wanting to bring us into that theta state. Once you reach the theta state, the imagination is now enlightened, or it is now ignited. And as you ignite the imagination, the creative, in the prefrontal cortex, you begin to start to rewire and refire your whole brain for congruence, bringing it into a state of success. You are meant to be successful. And successful is not about money. Prosperity is not about money. Money just happens to be the currency we use to make an exchange now. That's a creation of human beings, and it's a poor one, honestly. Success and prosperity is about you having everything you need to fulfill your dharma. And let me go here for just a moment. For anybody who's wondering about what should I concentrate on, what should I concentrate on? It is not my job to find out how it's going to be done. If you put your energy in how it's going to be done, you're going to be taking the energy away from the belief that you need to create space for believing it's done. It is nature's responsibility to figure out how it's going to be done. Leave it to nature, the aspect of how. You decide on the who and the why, and let nature determine the how. Let the universe is conspiring with you, not against you. Conspiring with you to create what you want. See, if you're thinking in dichotomies and you're thinking in panic and in chaos, the body and the universe thinks that's what you want, because that's what you're creating. It's the vibration you're sending out. Let me say this. If you push play on an 80s rock CD compilation and you play it over the air, that's what the audience is going to hear. If you want different music, you have to take that CD. Boy, I aged myself just now. You have to take that streaming playlist and change the playlist. If you don't change the playlist, you don't project anything new. I'm saying let's uninstall the music we don't want to play, and let's install the music we do want to play. Is there anybody out there? Are y'all feeling what I'm saying? I know that some of this sounds almost mechanical and a little bit rough or gruff. I'm just saying, for me, I've decided to take my life back. To take my power back. To not live in those boxes. I can play in them, but I don't live in them. In fact, it's funny, one of the things that one of our cats does, if there is an open box and it's even slightly big enough for Butters to fit into, if you leave it out, you come back a few minutes later, guess whose butt is in that box? Butters. He'll lay in that box and he'll sleep, but guess what? He doesn't live in the box, because he knows outside of the box is where his food's at. Outside of the box is where his water is at. Outside of the box is where he gets petted, only when he wants to. And I promise you, it's always on his terms. But he doesn't live in the box, but there's a certain security at times, about the box. I mean, there's certain security with living in a house, and it's just a big box. But we don't really live inside of the box, even though we spend some of our time in it. I'm not saying the boxes are bad. I'm saying if the box has been too small for you, it's time for you to bust out of the box, because the box is just an illusion. Now, here's some practical things. I know I don't want us to run over time today. Here's some practical things. Train your brain to follow your lead instead of the converse. Train your brain to follow your lead instead of the converse. When you know that the unconscious mind and the conscious mind belong to you, you take back your power over your business. Let me say it like this. If you have ever owned a business and you're the CEO of the business and you have a meeting with a couple of your management staff, the people who are lead, your foreman, whoever's running things when you're away. If you have a meeting with them and you tell them there's something I want you to do, and they look at you and say no, how would you respond? It is your business. And what happens to your business is often determined by the management of the business, but you are the owner. The unconscious and the conscious mind, along with the heart, that's the management crew of your business of life. And if they don't get together and start working your plan and working your vision, your business is not going to do what you have dreamed and imagined for it to do. You need to get those in congruence with each other. And sometimes it's even a harder job with that unconscious mind because it was programmed, taught, and trained in a management school that was not yours. I know I'm speaking to somebody now. You may have to send them back to school. Oh yes, I understand. I understand. For me, this would be my conversation with the unconscious mind. I understand. You went to management school in the House of the Scots. I know you did. You went in the management school and your elective was within the Christian religion. I know, I get it. That's fine. I hired you because you had a great resume. You're a fantastic mind. You're fantastic unconscious. I love it. And I'm okay with the fact that you got your degree there. Here's what I'm not okay with. If your degree is going to stand between you and I being able to work together to make this business successful, then I'm going to have to fire you and I'm going to have to hire another unconscious because I'm telling you, I know what I want from my life and it's time for you to either line up or you're going to have to leave. This is what we mean when I'm talking about deprogramming. That you may have to deprogram and forget the degrees, just deprogram and reprogram the brain to do what you want it to do. Train your brain to follow your lead. Remember, the mind is a wonderful servant, but it's a terrible master. Now create unity and harmony between brain, heart, and body. Align your thoughts, emotions, and feelings with your conscious awareness. Remember, you are the consciousness. You are the awareness. Loving awareness is now leading you into an abundant life filled with all you're intended to be and to have. Create your own future in the present moment through the act of being fully in tune with your own pure presence. Create your own future from this present moment through the act of being fully in tune with pure presence. Here's a few practical things. Then we're going to go into a time of meditation. And I know we've been meditating a lot, but as we meditate, we levitate and we transcend. It really is that. It's practicing pure consciousness. It's practicing getting beyond the veil. I haven't mentioned that this month, but this is the overarching theme of our whole year is beyond the veil. And this is a part of it. Getting beyond the veil reminds you that you're in charge of your own life. What have you done for your own self lately? Here's a few practical things. Change your energy from living in the past to living in the present, where you create the future you actually choose. Now, I wrote this down as want, but I got corrected by presence this morning. Let me say it the way it came to me. If I pray or I meditate from a space of want or a space of need, I'm just going to create more want and more need. So I've decided to change, and I'm going to actually change it right now. I'm changing it even in my notes. Choose. Change your energy from living in the past to living in the present, where you create the future you choose. Because the idea is to get into that space and not need it or want it, because that is a vacuum for bringing more to want for and more to need. Get into that space empowered and choosing the life you want. There's science behind all of this, folks. I'm telling you, you can create a feeling that will begin to attract those things, the building blocks that are necessary to make that feeling a reality. And you set this whole being in motion for creating that. Journey deeper into levels of the subconscious mind, often unconscious mind, and I teach your mind, heart, and body to act on your own placebo. I won't go into the whole thing about placebo, but look it up sometime. There are people who have been given medications, for instance, a whole group of people who are suffering from depression were given 20 of them or so, I don't remember the exact number, but 20 of them or so were given sugar pills. The others were given Prozac. Every single one of them had the same response. Placebo. They created from the pharmacy in their own brain the chemical necessary to help to level out their depression. Did you know still to this day? Don't tell anybody I told you this, but this is a fact. This was told to me to my face by a pharmacist. Over 60% of depression medication that is given out in the Western world is placebo. Sugar pill. Sometimes it doesn't work, but the majority of the time it does. Now what's that tell you? It tells you that your belief in that pill is so powerful, you create a chemical reaction in your brain. If you don't believe it, go look it up. Go look it up. 60% of depression medication that's given out is a sugar pill. It's placebo. And people create a feeling from the pharmacy of the brain that causes that depression to be balanced. Again, it's not 100%, but isn't it something that it would be even 10% is pretty profound, isn't it? All right. Here's the next bullet point. Intentionally change your limited subconscious conditioning and programs as well as habits into liberated states of mind and body, creating freedom and abundant living. I was meant to live in abundance. I was meant to live in abundance. Say that. I was meant to live in abundance. A part of hypnosis is pattern. Your unconscious hears your voice and it starts to heed that vibration. When you wake up in the morning, let the first words out of your mouth be thank you. That first of all is going to change your attitude, because a gratitude moment changes the attitude of the day. And then remind yourself on a regular basis, I was meant to live a life of abundance. Furthermore, I deserve to live a life of abundance. This is some powerful stuff, y'all. I'm telling you, if you'll grab a hold of it, it actually will change the rest of your life. The truth, if you continue in my words, you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. This is the declaration of the Christ presence that comes to us today, Christ consciousness. If you continue in my words, you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. The word there for words is logos or logics. If you'll continue in my logistics, you're going to know the truth, and the truth is going to make you free. Here it is. Give freedom to your divine energy already stored in your body, and then use it to create a destiny, a new destiny. Give freedom to your divine energy already stored in your body, and then use it to create a new destiny. One of the reasons I ask us to breathe into the root and to follow the breath all the way up to the crown is because it has been proven in neuroscience and neuroplasticity that in the base of the spine is energetic fluid, cerebral fluid. And that through this breathing practice, they have actually monitored people move this fluid from the base of the spine all the way into the cerebral, into the brain, and cause a lightning storm of activity. Electrons, protons, and neutrons firing and rewiring and preparing to create and helping to create new habits. When you learn how to hit a baseball, this activates the prefrontal cortex and causes a lightning storm in the brain. When you learn how to play piano, play guitar, when you learn how to use a smartphone, when you learn how to create a new skill, when you are at work and they come up with a new system for your softwares that you're using and you have to learn something new, you activate the brain. It actually pulls cerebral fluid up from the base of the spinal cord, and you begin to create. Woo! That's a lot of information, I know, and I'm saying it really fast. I may have to watch this back myself. Here's the last point. And then we're going to spend a little bit of time in meditation. I don't want to run us over too late, although I don't believe we're bound by time. But the act of giving freedom to your divine energy, already stored in your body, will open your heart space. It will actually functionally strengthen your immune system by changing your attitude. It will balance your cells and your nervous system by utilizing thoughts alone rather than being used by your thoughts. One more time. This will open your heart space and strengthen your immune system by changing your attitude, and it will balance your cells and your nervous system by utilizing thoughts alone rather than being used by your thoughts. What I'm saying is that there's 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day that come to the human brain, approximately. And man, whoever was auditing those thoughts deserves a bonus and probably retirement after trying to audit those. Those 60 to 70,000 thoughts are not your own. They're part of the programming. They're part of the data field of life. Every conversation you've overheard or had, everything you've ever tasted or touched or felt or smelled or seen or heard, making sense of life with the five senses, all of those things are just a part of the data stream that you have. They're not your own. You can choose the thoughts you wish to think. And where your focus goes, your energy flows. Speaking of focus going and energy flowing, let's do that now. Now, because of time, we're going to do a shorter version of this meditation. And I'm not going to do the exercise we've been doing every single day. I am going to invite you, however, to think about joining our meditations. And if you have missed any of the meditations, think about going back to them. Think about utilizing those meditations. You can do that through YouTube. You can do it through Facebook. They're archived there. Because this is a life-changing meditation, and I am looking for testimonies after this 30-day period. Testimonies. And I believe that today is a very strong energy day. And I believe that what you set your intention to manifest today is going to come quickly, so you need to have your hands open. You need to have your heart open. You need to have your life open. You need to have that bank account open. You need to have your home open. You need to have your self open to whatever it's going to be. The time has come for you to be in charge instead of the thoughts or the pain body. It's so heavy to carry around. Let's allow ourselves to get into a space right now of focusing that energy. I'll invite you to just relax for a few moments. Just let go of whatever it is you've thought that you need to get done today, or whatever has already happened this morning. Just let go of it for just a few moments. I invite you to just be here and be present. We have each one been graced with this moment together. Right here, right now, in this present moment. We've been given this beautiful gift. Any of the thoughts that come and say, yes, but this will be too hard. How can I turn it around now? Some say, like Nicodemus to Jesus, I'm an old man. How can I be born again? How do I enter my mother's womb again? It is never too late to reset the unconscious mind, to deprogram it and reprogram it with what you want. So set that thought aside for just a few moments. If you want to grab it, you can pick it up on your way out, but just set it aside for a moment. Bring your focus and your attention toward what you choose. What kind of life would you choose? allow yourself to dream big. There are no limitations. Not in reality. What kind of life do you choose? I invite you to bring an image to mind of something, someone, someplace that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel free. A place, a time that makes you feel prosperous. Do you have that image in your mind? Bring that image up. What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it sound like? What do you see? And more importantly, how do you feel? Now, I ask you for a moment to extract the feeling from the image and allow the image to dissolve. Hold the feeling. Hold the feeling. Put your focus on that feeling, because where your focus goes, your energy flows. For the next few moments, we are installing this feeling into the programming. And we're saying to the programming, I want you to play this more. This is a new feeling on the playlist of my life. Any feeling of doubt or limitation that tries to come in while this feeling is being installed, just ask it to wait. Set it aside. If you want to go back to that at another time, you can. Just set it aside for right now. For this feeling, I say thank you. For this feeling, I say I'm grateful. I choose to take my power back. I choose to create the life with my wishes fulfilled. I'll ask you to receive a deep breath in through the nose about 3 to 4 seconds. Hold for about 3 to 4 seconds. And then simply let it go. Begin. And so it is, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let those words, if you would, just let those words escape from your mouth. Thank you. Thank you. We are renewing the mind and transforming our lives one thought at a time. What a beautiful way to live this existence. I want to say thank you to all of you for being here in this place today. And I want to say thank you as well for supporting this community. If this community is meaningful to you, I'll ask you to consider giving financially a gift to this community. If this community is inspiring you to live your best life, I'll ask you to continue giving. The information is on the screen, and that information that's on the screen provides our P.O. Box, safe and secure way to give through check or money order. Also, we have our digital ways of giving through PayPal and Venmo. If you've never given before and you hesitate, I understand that. A lot of religious communities and faith communities over the years have unfortunately, it seems, taken advantage of people. That is not what we intend to do. What we intend to do is to continue doing everything we can to bring you quality programming that inspires you to live your best life and become the best version of yourself. There's no manipulation factor in this. It just is what it is. If you make an exchange and you're willing to make an exchange for what you're receiving here, then please do so. Those who continue to give and sustain this ministry, thank you for being a sustaining partner and being a part of this community. I love you very much for that, and I'm very thankful to have you in my life. Here's a few announcements that we need to make. One, May the 1st. May the 1st, we are having our first in-person service. It's going to be at Audubon, May the 2nd, excuse me. It's the first Sunday in May, but May the 2nd. It's at Audubon Acres in the Chattanooga area. Look at the information that's on the screen. The address is there. Look how beautiful this place is. This place is going to be outside, and so it'll make people feel more comfortable with being together. I just got my first vaccination this last week. Whew, I'm glad that's over with. And going to be close to fully vaccinated by then. But we are going to ask if you feel comfortable wearing a mask. We'll have some sanitizer there as well. We'll have socially distancing for those who really feel comfortable with social distancing. I completely understand that. But we felt like the vaccine would have time to get around by May the 2nd so that we could get together and be in this one space. I encourage you to make your plans to be there. They're going to let us have it from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. I'm going to be getting in and setting up. Ryan Oyer is going to be our special guest musician. I'll be getting in early and setting up. We'll have a meditation together. And then Ryan's going to cut in to do some music. And it's going to be a wonderful time. I don't know that I'm really going to give much of a talk other than just to share a few things about what's going on. Mostly, I want to get together with you in person. I want to spend time fellowshipping. So when the music and the celebration part is complete, as far as this session or service, then we're going to have lunch together. And I encourage you to stay around. Make a day of it. Audubon Acres provides hiking trails, beautiful hiking trails. The landscape is amazing. So let's go hike together. Let's go take a hike on that day after we're done with lunch. Spend some time there in the Chattanooga area. It's a really cool space. Make your plans to be there if you would. There's some wonderful places to stay if you want to come up the night before. All of that. So please, please, please consider being with us for that event. Also, we are continuing to host our meditations every day of the week, Monday through Friday at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, on the weekends at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also have our midweek connection on Wednesdays. 2 weeks from this Wednesday, we're going to have my friend Doug Wentz. I will be getting a flyer out to everyone. It's actually going to be Psychics, Psychos, Prophets, and Profiteers. He is from the Charismatic Prophetic Movement, but he has shifted in consciousness over the last several years, and he's going to share with us where he sees prophecy and intuitive work going into this new world that we have aided in the creation of. So it's going to be a fun, and if nothing else, the title should intrigue you to be there. And it will be live this time. Therefore, we will have no technical hiccups. That's the world I'm creating. So we invite you to be a part of that. I think that that's all of the announcements, honey, if that's correct. All right, well then we are now going to get ready to do our theme song, because our theme song is an important part of what we do, because we are one love, one love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Sing it right where you are. One love, oh, oh, oh yeah, one heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Oh yeah, let's get together and feel alright. Everybody give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Now let's share our affirmation together, if you would. I affirm that I am inclusive, compassionate, kind, and strong. I am awake, aware, and fully alive. I am pure presence. I am divine. I am one love, and so it is. Yes, it is. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being a part of this community. You are what makes One Love Spirit Center full and complete. Thank you for sharing your love. Thank you for sharing your time. And thank you for sharing this live stream with your friends. All right, y'all, go and make it a great week. Here's the reason. Because you can, so why not? Peace.